Hey y'all, I'm Sarah, and today I'm going to be walking you through the NVYO Philharmonic Audition and giving you some suggestions and tips to practice so that you're going to have a great audition. So first, let's talk about your concert F major scale. So this F major scale, it is legato the first time through, and then the second time through, staccato. So for those staccatos, I want to encourage you to think of them light and like exhales. So what I like to think about for staccatos is my abdomen supports and it's going like your belly laughing, ha 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 ha. And then my tongue is interrupting to get that clear part of the attack, but the staccato is being kind of supported by the ha 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 ha. So let's try this on an F. We're gonna play in the middle register, so this one. I want you just to go ha, 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 ha for your articulation. And it's okay if it sounds a little bit airy and if you crack a note because we're just learning this articulation. So let's try it again a couple times. And you want to be careful that you're not moving your lips and going huff, huff, huff. The ha, ha, ha is coming from my abdomen. Ha, ha, ha. Next, let's keep doing those ha, 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 but add in the ha and T. So you're doing your T articulation to start the note, but it's being supported by your abdomen. Now, let's try the scale nice and slow so we can really make sure that we are capturing the ha supporting and the T clear articulation for a nice and light staccato, which will also help us on the Dance of the Tumblers excerpt. Now for that legato, I want you to think of this as a long line, kind of like you're a waitress or a waiter and you are serving something on your tray and you can't let it drop. So there shouldn't be any bumps. It should just be one smooth line. All right, now let's try it together. Next, moving on to the excerpt, the Dance of the Tumblers. Next, we have these light laughing staccatos also present in the excerpts, as well as heavier accents and then slurs. But let's talk a little bit about accents. So the accents are heavier than staccatos, and I like to think of them as having more emphasis and more like leaning into the note. Now, let's go to the 1, 2, 3, the fourth bar of this excerpt, and let's look at that E and practice some accents on it. All right, now let's play a little bit with this E. Let's just tongue it normally. Now let's do some staccatos. Now let's do accents. They're going to be a little bit longer and a little bit heavier. And they might be a little bit louder, but in general, you don't want to think of them as lots louder, but they may have a little bit more. So let's practice now on the third measure of this excerpt, the C, E, F, E, and let's go in slow motion practice to really make sure we're differentiating between the staccatos and the accents. Now we have that same thing, but an octave higher in the third and fourth measure of E. Before we start, let's remind ourselves of the high E fingering. I like to think of it as it's like my low E, but I lift up my third finger on my left hand. Let's remind ourselves of the high F fingering. So it's kind of like my low F, but I lift up my middle finger on my left hand. Before we talk about the articulation, let's just play E to F a couple times and really think about the motion that your hands are doing because it can feel a little awkward at first. play that for a few times and really get comfortable with that motion because it is going to need to go a little bit faster for this excerpt. Now, let's go in slow motion again for this high register version and practice those laughing staccatos and accents. If you're having trouble getting those notes to speak clearly and consistently, I have a practice strategy for you. What we are going to do is we are going to practice harmonics, which are produced by a lower fingering, but overblowing that lower fingering to the pitch that is written in the music. For the C, we are going to overblow an F. For the E, we are going to overblow an A. For the F, we are going to overblow an F. And I like to check the written note with the regular fingering before I play the harmonic, so. And then you can do that a couple times. And then after you feel comfortable, don't rush the process, take your time, go back to the written fingerings, the normal ones, and play. And that is one of my favorite strategies for working on the high register. All right, let's play it together now. Now I want to talk about the optional solo A. For all music, I strongly encourage you to practice with a metronome, but especially for this, where you are going between quarter, eighth notes, 16th notes, and you also have some things on the off. So I want to talk about the last line of this excerpt. Now I want us to practice that last line with a metronome on 60 beats per minute together. 1, 2, 3, with the metronome there because making sure that you are playing everything evenly and on the correct beat are huge things that people will be listening for in your audition. I like to encourage young flutists to do is to write in their music clearly 1, 2, 3, 4 on the beats that they go on. So if we're looking at that last line, 1 is going to go on the F, 2 on the E, 3 on the 8th note rest, and then 4 on the next 8th note rest. And I would encourage you to do this on any measure where it kind of confuses you and you don't know quite where those beats go, just so that you can have that visual reminder. Before we play this together, I just want you to be aware of the repeat sign that is there. Make sure you circle that or make note of it, and that the first time it is loud, the second time it is soft. So the soft time, you're thinking of a little bit softer and warmer air. Then I want to mention the molto rallentando on the first line in the 1, 2, 3, 4th measure. Make sure that you slow down and you do molto, so you can do a lot of it. On the second line where it says a tempo, that means to resume the tempo that you started this piece with. All right, let's play it together.